Tonight, we drift into a quiet corner of England, to a small house by the sea, where a night of soft rain brings a new life into the world. No need to follow a plot, no need to remember every detail, no need to reach for anything at all. Just let your breath slow, let your body soften, and let the warmth of a home wrapped in rain wrap around you too. Breathe in, the faint scent of sea salt carried on the wind, the damp earth outside the window, and the warm wood smoke from a hearth glowing in the dark. Breathe out, letting go of every tired thought, every tight muscle, every weight you've carried through the day. This is a space of quiet domestic peace, of slow warmth, of safe stillness, where time moves softly and every moment feels like a gentle hug. You are here now, on a night of soft rain, the kind that falls slow and steady, tapping gently against the windows, soaking the grass outside and wrapping the world in a quiet hush. The sky is dark, streaked with faint gray, no moon to glow, only the warm light of lamps spilling from the windows of a small, cozy house. The sea whispers in the distance, its waves rolling softly against the shore. A steady rhythm, calm, unchanging. This is the night David Copperfield is born. A night of rain, of warmth, of quiet hope, where the world feels slow, soft, and safe. Inside the house, all is calm. The front parlor glows with soft light from a single lamp, its shade casting warm circles on the wooden floor. A fire blazes slowly in the hearth, its flames dancing gently against the stone, pushing back the faint chill of the rainy night. The air smells of burning ash and a hint of cinnamon from a small pot simmering nearby. A clock ticks quietly on the wall, steady, unhurried, marking the passing of minutes that feel like hours. Slow, sweet, unrushed. The room is quiet save for the rain tapping at the window, the fire crackling softly, and the faint murmur of voices upstairs. Upstairs, a young woman lies in a soft bed, her breathing slow and shallow, her face calm. This is Clara Copperfield, David's mother. Soft, kind, full of quiet warmth, wrapped in the safety of her home, surrounded by those who care for her. A midwife sits beside her, hands steady, movements gentle, dabbing a cool cloth on Clara's forehead, speaking in a voice so low it barely rises above the rain. Outside the door, another woman waits, her hands folded in her apron, posture patient, eyes soft with concern. This is Peggotty, Clara's dearest friend, her most trusted companion, the one who will bring a steady, safe presence to this quiet home. The rain falls on, slow and steady, as the first cry of a baby fills the house. A soft, gentle sound, not loud or sharp, but warm and alive, cutting through the quiet like a ray of light. Peggotty smiles, her eyes filling with soft tears, as she pushes the door open slow. Her steps light on the wooden floor. There, in the midwife's arms, lies a small, fragile baby, David, wrapped in a soft white blanket, his eyes closed, his breathing slow, his tiny fists curled tight. Peggotty approaches slow, her hands outstretched gentle as if handling something precious, something safe. The midwife places the baby in her arms, and Peggotty holds him close, pressing her cheek to his soft forehead, feeling the warmth of his small body against hers. "He's perfect, Mrs. Copperfield," Peggotty says, her voice soft, barely above a whisper, so not to startle the baby or tire his mother. Clara opens her eyes slow, a soft smile touching her lips as she reaches out her hand. Peggotty moves closer, bending down slow, so Clara can brush her fingers against David's tiny hand. The baby stirs soft, his fingers wrapping around her thumb, a gentle, unspoken bond forming in that quiet moment. The rain taps on the window. The fire crackles downstairs. The clock ticks on. And in that room, there is only warmth, only softness, only the safe, quiet joy of a new life beginning. The night fades slow, the rain tapering off into a soft drizzle, then into nothing at all. The sky lightens, turning from dark gray to pale pink as the first hints of dawn creep over the sea. The midwife leaves, her steps quiet, her voice warm, as she wishes Clara well. Peggotty stays, settling into a chair beside the bed, holding David close, her eyes heavy, but her heart full. Clara drifts into a gentle sleep, her breathing slow and even, her hand resting soft on the edge of the blanket. David sleeps too, wrapped in Peggotty's arms, safe and warm, unaware of the world outside, only knowing the soft beat of her heart, the warmth of her touch, the quiet of the house. When dawn breaks fully, soft sunlight spills through the window, casting golden streaks on the bed, on the floor, on David's tiny face. Peggotty rises slow, careful not to wake the baby, and carries him downstairs into the parlor. The fire has faded to a bed of warm embers, still glowing soft, still casting warmth into the room. She places David in a small cradle beside the fire, tucking the blanket around him tight, making sure he is safe, making sure he is warm. Then she moves to the stove, lighting it slow, filling a small pot with milk, letting it heat gentle over the embers. The scent of warm milk fills the room, mixing with the faint smell of sea air drifting through the open window. Clara wakes slow, her body still tired, but her heart light. She descends the stairs, her steps soft, her eyes searching for the cradle. When she sees David, sleeping soundly, a soft smile spreads across her face. Peggotty turns, noticing her, and smiles back. "He's been sleeping like an angel, ma'am," she says, her voice soft, pouring a cup of warm milk for Clara. Clara takes the cup, her fingers wrapping around the warm ceramic, and sips slow, letting the warmth spread through her chest. She sits down in a chair beside the cradle, watching David sleep, her hand resting gentle on the edge of the cradle, her mind quiet, her heart full of soft love. This is the start of David's life, a life wrapped in warmth, in routine, in quiet domestic peace. Days unfold slow, one after the other, each following the same gentle pattern, each filled with soft moments, each feeling safe and familiar. Mornings begin with the soft light of dawn streaming through the windows, waking the house slow. Peggotty rises first, lighting the fire, heating milk, preparing a simple breakfast of bread and butter. Clara wakes next, joining her in the parlor, sipping warm milk, watching David stir in his cradle. When David wakes, his cries are soft, gentle, a quiet request for warmth, for food, for comfort. Peggotty lifts him slow, holding him close, feeding him warm milk from a small cup. Her hands steady, her voice soft as she hums a quiet tune. Clara sits beside them, her hand resting on David's soft hair, watching him with quiet adoration. The fire glows warm. The clock ticks slow. The sea whispers in the distance. Everything moves at a slow, gentle pace. No hurry, no noise, no worry. After breakfast, Peggotty tends to the house, her movements slow and steady. She sweeps the floors, her broom moving soft against the wood, making no sound. She folds the laundry, fresh from the line, the cloth soft and warm from the sun, the scent of sea air clinging to every thread. She tends to the small garden outside, pulling weeds gentle, watering the flowers slow, her hands moving soft against the earth. Clara sits in the parlor, holding David, or walking slow through the house, or sitting by the window, watching the sea roll slow against the shore. David grows, slow and steady, his tiny hands reaching for the light, his eyes opening wide to take in the world around him. The warm glow of the fire, the soft sound of his mother's voice, the gentle touch of Peggotty's hands. He laughs soft, a tiny sweet sound when Peggotty tickles his feet or when Clara sings a quiet song. He sleeps slow, wrapped in soft blankets, safe in his cradle, lulled by the sound of the sea and the tick of the clock. Every moment of his days is filled with warmth, with softness, with the safety of a home that loves him. Afternoons are quiet, slow, and sweet. The sun shines warm through the windows, casting golden light on the parlor floor. Peggotty sits in her chair, sewing slow, her needle moving soft in and out of the cloth, while Clara sits beside her, holding David, talking soft to him, telling him stories of the sea, of the sky, of the quiet things around them. David listens, his eyes wide, his tiny hands grasping at the air, as if trying to hold onto her voice, onto the warmth, onto the safety of the moment. Sometimes, Peggotty takes David outside, wrapping him tight in a blanket, carrying him slow through the grass. The sun warms his face. The wind brushes soft against his cheeks, carrying the scent of sea salt and wildflowers. They walk to the shore, where the waves roll slow onto the sand, their foam sparkling in the sun. Peggotty sits on a rock, holding David close, pointing to the waves, to the seagulls flying slow in the sky, to the boats bobbing soft on the water. David watches, his eyes wide with wonder, but never scared. Safe in Peggotty's arms, warm and protected. Evenings bring a soft hush over the house. The sun dips slow below the sea, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold before fading into dark. Peggotty lights the lamps, their glow soft and warm, pushing back the dark. She prepares a simple supper, warm soup, fresh bread, a bowl of fruit, her movements slow, her hands steady. Clara helps, her fingers brushing soft against the bread, her voice humming a quiet tune. David sits in his cradle, watching them, his eyes growing heavy, his breathing slowing. After supper, they gather in the parlor, around the fire. The fire blazes slow, its flames dancing gentle, casting shadows on the walls. Peggotty sits in her chair, sewing, while Clara sits beside David's cradle, singing soft lullabies. The clock ticks slow. The sea whispers in the distance. The fire crackles soft. Everything is quiet. Everything is warm. Everything is safe. David drifts into sleep, lulled by his mother's voice, by the warmth of the fire, by the quiet rhythm of the house. Peggotty stays a while longer, adding a log to the fire, making sure the lamps are dimmed soft, making sure Clara is comfortable. She checks on David, tucking the blanket around him tight, brushing a strand of soft hair from his forehead. "Good night, little master," she whispers, her voice soft, barely above a whisper. Then she bids Clara good night, her steps light as she leaves the parlor, closing the door slow behind her. Clara sits alone for a moment, watching David sleep, watching the fire. Her heart is full of soft love, of quiet gratitude, gratitude for this home, for Peggotty's care, for the slow, gentle routine that wraps around them, for the safe, warm life she has with her son. She reaches down, brushing her fingers against David's tiny cheek, feeling its softness, its warmth. He stirs soft, murmuring in his sleep, before settling back into a deep, peaceful rest. The fire fades slow, its flames growing softer, lower, casting fewer shadows. The clock ticks on, steady and slow, marking the passing of the night. The sea continues to whisper, its rhythm calm and unchanging. The house is quiet, save for David's slow breathing and the faint crackle of the fire. Clara leans back in her chair, her eyes growing heavy, her body softening into the warmth. She does not rush to bed. She simply sits, savoring the quiet, savoring the warmth, savoring the safety of this moment with her son. She thinks of the days ahead, slow, gentle days, filled with routine, with warmth, with David's soft laughter and Peggotty's steady care. She thinks of the nights, of the fire, of the sea, of the quiet peace that wraps around their small house. She does not worry about the future. She does not hurry the present. She simply is, in this moment, held in the warmth of her home, the safety of her routine, the soft love of her son. David sleeps on, safe and warm, wrapped in blankets, in love, in the quiet domestic peace of his home. His dreams are soft, gentle, filled with the warmth of his mother's touch, the sound of Peggotty's voice, the rhythm of the sea. He knows nothing of worry, nothing of hurry, nothing of fear, only warmth, only softness, only safety. The house breathes slow around him. The fire glows warm. The sea whispers, and all is right in his small, perfect world. As the night deepens, the fire fades to embers, still glowing soft, still casting warmth. The clock ticks on, slow and steady, a quiet companion through the dark. The sea's rhythm remains, calm and unchanging. Clara drifts into a gentle sleep in her chair, her hand resting soft on the edge of David's cradle, their breathing sinking slow. A quiet, unspoken bond of love and safety. And now, let that same warmth wrap around you. Let the slow rhythm of this night lull you. Let the quiet peace hold you. You are safe. You are held. Breathe in slow. Breathe out softer, letting every tension melt away. Your mind can rest. Your body can soften. Nothing asks too much of you. You are safe. Let your eyes close gentle. Let your breath settle into a slow, natural rhythm. Drift slow, drift soft into peaceful rest. Good night.